I think the weekend went exactly how I envisioned it to go, and so much more. You can always kind of visualize, and I know the two of us have even meditated on this to see it before it even happens. But then when you actually see it happen, it's pretty magical. So it's been a special weekend.
Absolutely. I mean, I spoke with Trev this morning, and I think looking back, even though we're just literally minutes away from it ending, there's not one thing we would have changed. And I can literally look at each individual that arrived this weekend and say that they are different men from when they arrived. You could watch the evolution over the weekend as they had the opportunity to reflect more, go through the experiences. And it was unique in the sense that some people found one piece really meaningful, while others really connected to another activity that we did. So I think what we put together really lended itself in different ways to the different awesome humans that were here. And I think as all the activities we put together, a lot of the men were ready to just jump right into them. But then Trev and I would stop them and say, there's purpose behind this activity that we're doing. And we're going to jump into this activity with intention. And so prior to doing each piece, that's why we would ground in a meditation, or we would ground in a reflection piece, so that when we went into the activity, they're really honing in on that and processing it during.
We've said it before, but we created this because it's what we crave, right? It's just like the ability to slow down, be present in the moment for the things that we're actually leading into, because it's very easy to default to just do something and then go, what's next? What's next? Like, this is what high achievers do, right? They're constantly reinventing, they're constantly pushing and moving, but we're both here to say that that's not sustainable. It's not actually fulfilling. The slowing down aspect, the reflecting, the integrating, and then the being present in the moment as you're going through it and the journey, that's actually it. That's the whole meaning of this thing we call life. It's actually enjoying every single minute of it, not just the goal that you're trying to achieve.
Yeah, and it was interesting to see that because they're high achievers that were here, they were even trying to look at the agenda and say, what's next? Totally. Okay, we're not on time. What are we doing next? I've been up since X, and we're here to challenge those men as well. As we say, call them up. And so when that arrived, it's simply like, it's unfolding exactly like it should be. And you need to surrender to what we've put together. And so it was neat to see, even little things like that those individuals would have to let their shoulders drop and be a part of the collective and the community that was here.
When I started down this journey many, many years ago, but really focused in the last 6 months on like, what is the purpose of all this? Like, why am I here? How can I have it all? I started to break down what are these different dimensions that make up having it all. And I, quite frankly, don't even have that answer. It's just so big that it's tough to even wrap your head around. But when you think about even like 12 dimensions of life, and everything from your business and your impact and your finances over to your relationships and your family, and then of course your health and your fitness and mindfulness and intellect and all of these things, there's always room for us to improve and for us to continue to level up. Some people came in with certain areas where they're kicking ass, and other areas where they may actually be having a failing grade, but maybe they won't even say that out loud because they don't want to give that perception of like, I'm not kicking ass in every aspect of my life. I think we gave them a space to be able to just feel safe to do that, and then to realize like, oh man, I'm not alone on this journey.
Yeah.
Everybody's kind of in the same place.
And I think a big piece of that, and what we focused on this weekend as well, is that people arrived with titles, with their roles of who they are in their workplace. But at the end of the day, when we sat down in this room and the one downstairs and every activity that we did, we're only human. We're humans. Those titles don't matter here in this space. We're all facing a human experience together. And so we face the challenges, we face the hurt, we face the wins. But that was a big part of it is, there's no shielding yourself with whom you are here in this space. We're arriving, the real, the raw, the energy, to work on ourselves as individuals. When we were putting the reflection prior to the individuals, but when we were putting the reflections together for this retreat, we kind of promised each other that this isn't just for them, it is for us. And so we went through each motion as well, reflecting in our journals too, answering the questions and leading to create that safe space, right? And so any of that inner work that was done, we absolutely are walking away with a new perspective on it as well. But, you know, there were certainly many discussions had on these topics with these other special humans, and lots came of it. And I think the important part is that what we did this weekend and what we learned from each other as individuals is only step one. And so the connections and the new networks, everything that was made, and the brotherhood and the support is what's going to ripple out of this for a long time.
Yeah, and it wouldn't have been the same event if it wasn't for every single guy that was here too. And I know we had a broad spectrum as far as different ages. Like I think the age difference was around like a 30-year gap type thing from oldest to youngest, which was incredible because you have a perspective from somebody that, you know, if you think about yourself in that position, it's like, man, if I would have been doing this work when I was 26.
Totally.
Whew.
Yeah.
And then you think about when you're at 56 though, and you're still doing the work, and you're able to look at that 26-year-old and be of service and support them and guide them. And then also feel like you can actually say out loud what you feel, right? That it's not, as we get older, we're supposed to know everything. Like, of course we don't. This is the journey. And yeah, it's such an incredible thing when you can get people into a space where, like you just said, all it takes is like one person to just go a little deeper.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden the stories start coming out and we all heal a little bit and become better versions of ourselves in those moments.
Yeah. And regardless of age on that one, they're doing the work.
Yeah.
And some people never even do the work, whether they're 70, 75, 80, right? And that's the painful part, is that regardless of age, if you don't dive in and do that work, you know, you don't get to experience the magic that lies on the other side of it.
Trevor, what's next from here?
Well, to be honest, old me would have immediately went into like, okay, now how are we going to take all the takeaways from this and go integrate it into the next thing? And when is the next thing? And let's put it on the... Man, I'm just going to slow down and allow this to just land what we created here this weekend. And then know and trust that whatever it's supposed to be will happen.
It's going to arrive for us for sure.
Yeah. And it's already happened. We were just speaking about this outside before we came in for this chat right now. Like, it's already happened. We just get to believe it, step into it, and know that there are thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of other men, and go beyond even men too, just humans that get to do this kind of work and get to have this kind of connection. And we know that collectively we're conduits to help people experience that.
Yeah,
so
100%.
What it looks like, I don't know, man, but it'll be perfect.
It'll be exactly what it was supposed
Just
to
like
be.
this.
Yeah.
I'm just super grateful, man, that I met you and, you know, blessed beyond measure as a conscious creator. These t-shirts, I think, really speak out loud as to who both of us are becoming, and collectively we're leveling each other up. So yeah, just grateful for the fact that both of us were brave enough to say, hey, what's up?
Yeah.
With the double wide strollers.
And likewise, we know, you know, what magic we've created in each other's lives in such a short period of time, and we know what's to come. And so we're very fortunate.
It's exciting.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. And our boys get to be a part of it.
Yeah.
And
we get to lead by example, and, you know, even for those that aren't ready in our lives, they will feel that energy and they'll eventually step into the space. And that's a win in itself.
Yeah. Yeah. Love you, man.
Love you, brother.